Hello and welcome to my talk about James Arthur Harley, scholar, Church of England priest, and local politician. James Arthur Harley was born on May the 15th, 1873, in the village of All Saints, Antigua, to a white father, Henry James Harley, a landlord, and a black seamstress mother, Josephine Eleanor Lake, from the island of Anguilla. Harley was baptized at All Saints Church in July 1873 and made his confirmation in 1887. His early education took place at the Micro School, noted in the Antiguan Standard newspaper as the best school on the island. In 1894, Harley reached two milestones. He turned 21 and completed the government certificate at the Spring Gardens Teacher Training College and became a teacher in elementary schools, later becoming a headmaster. Harley's childhood vocation, however, was to become a priest in the Protestant Episcopalian Church, the American version of the Anglican Church. He left Antigua in 1899 for America to attend the oldest seminary of the Episcopalian Church and a leading center for theological education in the Anglican Communion, the General Theology Seminary in New York. Harley arrived on the cusp of the 20th century in 1899, an era steeped in horrific racial prejudice. He was immediately beset with a devastating setback. Despite personally addressed references to the seminary's dean, Reverend Eugene Augustus Hoffman, the seminary turned him away. Instead, he was directed with insistence to King's Hall, Washington, D.C. Despite his protest, Harley traveled to Washington, D.C. and learned King's Hall, based at Howard University, was a college to train African American clergymen. He enrolled on a law course instead of theology, and thus began the start of an academic career. Harley took several jobs to support himself while at Howard, including a Sunday school teacher and a choir master at the Pinnacle Church for the Washington Black Elite, St. Luke's, where he met his future wife, Josephine Lawson. Josephine's parents, Jesse and Rosetta Lawson, founded the Frelinghuysen University, named in honor of Senator Theodore Frelinghuysen. An adult education institution, the university taught secretarial skills, bookkeeping, and accountancy classes. In the preceding years, Harley navigated the double complexities of the hostilities of white America and faced and dealt with African Americans' resentment towards him as a colonial man of mixed race heritage. He competed as an outsider against overt racism and financial difficulties to accomplish an esteemed education at Howard and Yale University after his rejection from the General Theology Seminary. In the autumn of 1903, Harley entered Harvard University to continue his academic quest and work for a degree in Semitic languages, studying the ancient histories and cultures of Israelites, Phoenicians, Babylonians, and Arabs. At Harvard, Harley formed a friendship with Alan Leroy Locke. He was also a member of the Ethical Society and took classes in anthropology. Harley won several prizes for oratory, debating, and the Pierre J. Prize for his essay entitled Japanese Shintoism, What Is It? He graduated in 1907. Harley decided to continue his education and study at the University of Oxford. On November 2nd, 1907, he matriculated at Jesus College as a commoner without a scholarship to read for a degree in theology, and at Manchester College, Oxford, as a special student. Harley's friendship with Alan Leroy Locke continued at Oxford, when Locke became the first black Rhodes Scholar in 1907. Harley would later enroll at the Pitt Rivers Museum for the Diploma of Anthropology. He took a series of lectures, and on May 4, 1908, received the Certificate of Examination in Physical Anthropology, Ethnology, and Sociology. Harley satisfied the examiners and was awarded his diploma on June 16, 1909, making history as the first black student to achieve the diploma. Now a curate, his first position was at St. Botolph's Church, Shepshed, Leicester, under the direction of incumbent vicar Reverend William Franklin Hepworth. Harley packed the church. People came to listen to his sermons, much to the disdain of some folk, who considered the church to be filled with scum when he preached. Harley's sermons were described as elegant and inspiring. He inaugurated a men's service, a men's Bible class, and an English class for the study of Shakespeare, and roused the population to the true meaning of life. He held two further positions at St. John's Church in the rural hamlet of Marshside, East Kent, and St. Leonard's Church, Deal, also in Kent. Harley achieved his childhood vocation when on June 11, 1911, Archbishop Randall Davison ordained him a priest at Canterbury Cathedral. Harley reinvented himself as a local politician and was elected as an independent councillor to the Shepshed Urban District Council in 1927, a position he held for 11 years. Known as a firebrand councillor, Harley produced a free weekly newspaper, the Shepshed Bulletin, later renamed the Charwood Bulletin, to communicate his criticism of the council and his views on current local affairs. He was a member of the Education Committee, the Roads and Bridges Committee, the Public Assistance Committee, and a governor of Loughborough College. In 1937, after two failed attempts, he was elected as an independent county councillor to Leicestershire County Council. At the age of 69, he suffered a heart seizure and died on May 12, 1943. He was buried 3 days later, on May 15th, his 70th birthday, at the Oaks and Charnwood Cemetery, Leicester. I trust you enjoyed this brief overview of Harley's life. You can read and learn more about his fascinating life in the new biography, The Adventures of a Black Edwardian Intellectual. My contact details are also on the screen. Thank you very much for listening.